A very warm welcome, everybody. My name is Irwin. I'm a lecturer for the Singapore Chartered Accountant qualification, and this is part of my videos to help you catch up. So today we want to catch up on the topic of bonds. How do we value bonds? So let's dive straight into it. If you wish to, you can on the closed caption function within YouTube, and that might help you follow along better. So let's go into one of the most common questions within your syllabus, which is dealing with coupon bonds. Now, what exactly are coupon bonds? They are bonds that pay an interest at regular intervals. Example, they pay you every 6 months, or they pay you at the end of every year. So that is a coupon bond. How do we value it? A coupon bond is priced and valued based on the present value of its cash flows. Which leads to the next question then. What are the cash flows of a bond? Typically, two cash flows. Number one, as we said earlier, the coupons itself, the interest payments. So when you look at the formula below, you will notice that the above formula is a coupon with a present value function below, coupon, a present value function below, so on and so forth. This range refers to finding the present value of your coupons. So that is the first cash flow that we have to discount and get the present value. The second cash flow within a bond is, if you see number 2 here, the redemption of principal, bond maturity. So when your bond matures, you can get back your principal, so to speak. But in a bond, they do not call it principal, they call it your redemption value. You just need to take the redemption value, discount it with a present value formula, you get the present value of the second cash flow. So add up the present value of the first cash flow with the present value of the second cash flow, you will get the total pricing or the total value of the bond. Now, let's go through some jargon further before I go into a question. First, how do I find the coupon? The coupon is given by a coupon rate percentage. They might say a 10% coupon or an 8% coupon. Now that is the coupon rate percentage. You just have to take that rate and multiply it by the face value of the bond, the bond's face value. Okay? What is the redemption value? Usually, redemption value or RV is the face value of the bond itself. So if there is a bond, and on the face of it, you see $1,000, $1,000. Alright, I'm scribbling really tiny words here. Now that is the face value, and that shows at maturity, when you present this bond, you will be able to claim back the $1,000 as shown on the face of the bond. Alright, that is the face value of the bond. Okay? KD that you see in all these formulas, some they just refer it as R. This is the cost of debt. So let's see how all of this is done in a question. Tennis Addiction has an outstanding bond with 5 years left in its life. This bond has a coupon rate of 7% and a face value of 100. So here we got some numbers. Can we pause for a while? Would you agree that the coupon then is 7% times the face value of 100? Therefore, the interest payment at every interval is $7. 777. Now, what is the interval like? It pays annual coupons, and at maturity, you would redeem the bond at face value. Okay? What is the cost of debt? What do bondholders or debt holders want? They want a yield of 4%. So let's fill this all up. Your coupon is $7. Your maturity, 5 years. Therefore, the number of periods will be 5. Alright? You will get 5 number of payments since it is an annual coupon. So annual coupon 5 years, your number of payments will be 5. That will be your N. And we will put a face value here, $100. Finally, one last thing, your cost of debt, which I will now refer to as R, is 4%. Right? This is what your debt holders wish for. So, how do we start valuing this? As said, you could do it the formula way like above, but let's do it more intuitively. Alright? So, a bond, as said, is valued based on 2 cash flows. So, what are the 2 cash flows within a bond? Your first cash flow would be none other than the coupon itself. Second cash flow, what you get upon redemption, which in our question we know it to be the face value. Now, how do we work out the coupon? I'm going to get $7 every year for 5 years. What does that sound like? That sounds like an annuity. $7 as coupon, $7 for 5 years. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. That is an annuity. So I'll just take $7 and I'll multiply it by the annuity formula. Annuity formula, I will just write it here. The annuity formula is the coupon multiplied by 1 minus 1 plus R minus N over R. So let's just place it in. In view of the space limitations, I'll just put a number. So 1 minus 1 plus R. R is 4%. And you put a minus N there, which is 5. Divide by R, 0.04. So I will just quickly calculate it myself. So I'm doing this live as I teach you. And I just divide like that. It works out to be 31.16. Okay? Now we then go to our redemption. What occurs? After 5 years, you can redeem the bond at $100 face value. So let's quickly do that then. After 5 years, so my $100, this I will get after 5 years. What is the present value of it? In here, we know how to discount something easily. It is just, if I write the tiny formula here, is 1 plus R power minus N, right? So here, your R is 4%. Your N, you put as 5. So 100 times 1.04 power minus 5. Easy peasy, 82.19. So what is the total value of your bond then? Your total value will be adding up the 2 cash flows together. So the present value of your first cash flow, namely the coupon, 31.16. The present value of the second cash flow, your redemption, 82.19. Let's just add them up together. 31.16, 82.19. The value of your bond, here, I just plus them up. 113.35. So people, this is how you value a bond. It is quite straightforward actually. Now let's see how SCA can just make it a little more difficult. Alright, so let's get to a second type of bond. You will notice it is very similar but with a major difference. Same thing, 5 years. The bond has a coupon rate of 7%, face value 100, but it pays semi-annual coupons. Now, you will then want semi-annual to be your point of view. This will be your point of view, POV, your perspective throughout the question. And when I say your perspective, what I mean is, suddenly your N is no longer 5 years. Looking through a semi-annual perspective. 5 years, how many semi-annual periods are there? 5 times 2, 10 altogether, right? Your coupon, initially it was stated to be 7%. That has a yearly style to it. I want it semi-annual. So 7%, since it is yearly, I divide by 2, my coupon is now 3.5%. Alright? Converted into money, I'm sure we all can see it is 350. Right? 3.5% multiplied by the face value of $100. Face value, of course, it doesn't change with your time, so I can put face value as 100. Last thing I have is my R. R, 4% per annum. I have to make it semi-annual as well. So 4% divided by 2, I get my R to be 2%. How do I value by bond now? Same mechanism, but you're now going to use the new variables here, right? Now everything is semi-annual, no big deal. People, just carry on, but with the semi-annual point of view. So here, right? Under bonds, same thing. First cash flow, my coupon. Second cash flow, what I get upon redemption, which is my face value. So let's go. Now my coupon this time is 350. As a reminder, annuity, right? We're going to do an annuity. Formula 1 minus 1 plus R power minus N over R. Just take your coupon and multiply by that. You will get the present value of your annuity. So 350 multiplied by 1 minus, now what is your R? 2%. Not 4, 2. What is your N? You put a minus there. What is your N? 10, not 5. So things have changed from prior. So here, let's work it out. 1 minus 1.02 power minus 10. Alright. And you multiply by 350. Here, 31.44. And for your redemption, this is the easy one. $100 multiplied by 1.02 power minus 10. Right? Remember the formula here. In case time value of money is not your forte, it has to be your forte for this module, okay? But we'll get there. 1 plus R power minus N. Right? So 1.02 power minus 10. Let's work that out. We get for ourselves 82.03. Okay, excuse the slightly different color, but I think that should be no problem. Now, the total value I have then will be 31.44 plus 82.03, which works out nicely to be 113.47. Alright, this is the value of your second bond. Of course, you would notice because of the semi-annual payment, the numbers are different. Right? The value is different, but only slightly different. Okay? Method-wise though, we have to do it from a semi-annual point of view. Do not take the slight difference as a reason to ignore the change in method. The change in method is important. Alright? So, those are coupon bonds. Let's move quick. I don't want this video to stretch for too long. So, another type of bond is called a zero coupon bond. Now, a zero coupon bond is a beauty to handle. Why? It's a beauty to handle because a zero coupon bond does not issue any coupons. So, one cash flow is taken away. You only have one remaining. And that would be, of course, the redemption value. So look, bondholders, how do they earn a return? They would buy the bond at a discounted price, and at the end, on maturity, they would claim the redemption value. No coupons in the interim. Just buy the bond at a discount, wait till maturity, get it back at redemption. How do you value this? Same thing. We just value by finding present value of my cash flow. So what is my cash flow again? My only cash flow is the redemption value. I just need to find the present value of it. I put in the present value function here, 1 plus kd power minus n, or as I wrote earlier, your kd can be just r, right? So, you just present value it, piece of cake. Come, let's quickly settle it with one example. Tennis Addiction wishes to issue a zero coupon bond, wishes to determine the price that investors would purchase it for. The bond has a maturity of 7 years, redeemed at a face value of $1,000. So wait for 7 years, people. Just wait for 7 years. You will be able to claim the bond back at $1,000. You're gonna get $1,000. How much will you buy the bond for now? Investors are demanding 3%. All I have to do to find the price of the bond or the value of the bond, put the redemption value, $1,000, and get the discounting in. Find its present value, right? 1 plus, you could put 1 plus R or 1 plus KD, they are both the same. 1 plus R, 3% is your R. You notice here, 3%. Minus 7 years is your N, right? So this is your N. Unbelievably easy, right? And your zero coupon bond is valued now at 813.09. So simply put, investors will buy the bond now at 813.09 and wait till 7 years later, claim it back at $1,000, and of course they earn the difference, right? So the difference will be their yield or their earnings. Now, why are zero coupon bonds popular? Because companies like them as they conserve cash flows. How do they conserve cash flows? There are no coupon payments, right? So you do not have to pay coupons every year or maybe every 6 months. There are no coupons to be paid. You conserve your cash flow all the way until the very end where you give out $1,000 to your bondholders. Alright, so that is a zero coupon bond. Now let's complete it with a final concept for bonds. Whenever you touch on bonds, you will see the word yield. So I'm going to take the last 5 minutes to quickly explain to you the concept of investor yield and bond prices. You would read in the newspapers very often that investor yields and bond prices have an inverse relationship. Simply put, when one goes up, the other goes down, and vice versa. When this guy goes down, the other guy goes up. So, the sticky part is always the meaning of the word yield. Yield, in its simplest way, refers to the return you earn. Used in bonds though, you have to keep in mind that yield is the investor's required return, what he wishes to earn, and it is also known as the cost of debt, because what you wish to earn will then be the cost of someone else. It's just like I earn a salary, my salary is a cost to my employer. So whatever I require as my earnings, whatever I require as my return, do keep in mind, in bonds, that is the cost of the company's debt. Alright? Now, how can we understand the inverse relationship between yield and bond prices? Let's use a simple equation. So let's say, as a bond investor, let's scroll this down a little. As a bond investor, I wish to earn 9%. This is my required required return. So if you want me to invest in you, this is what I demand. Now, your bond may only give me 7% coupon. So let's just assume we have a bond with a face value of $100, okay? So keep in mind, your 7% coupon, is on $100, and at the end of the bond, you can redeem the bond at $100. So that's the value of knowing what is the face value here, right? So people, let's go back to this equation. I require 9%. My coupon is only 7. Do I have what I require? No. Which means I have to look for the extra 2% somewhere else. Where else can I get an extra 2% on the bond? It is only on the redemption. Now, what do I mean by this? On redemption, I'm going to get $100, right? How can I earn 2% from this transaction? How I can earn 2% is I could buy the bond at a cheaper price. Now, people, there is no calculation behind this. I'm just choosing a reasonable number. I might buy the bond at $95. And at the end of the bond's life, I can redeem it at how much? 100, right? Wouldn't I earn a difference here of 5? Imagine that this 5 is none other than the 2% you wanted to gain. So the point here, people, is if you want 9%, your coupon 7 will mean you need to make money on your price paid. You would buy the bond at a cheaper price in view of redeeming it at a profit later. That profit will account for the 2% gain you need. Now let's try again, alright? We're going to do 2 questions more, and then after that, I think the concept will be sent across. So we have a bond, redemption value of 100, coupon of 5%. Right? Investors want to earn 7. So some swapping of numbers. Let's fill it into the equation. Investors want 7. My coupon is just 5. Will this bond be priced below or above $100? Now here, I need to make that 2%. So how am I going to make it? I will redeem the bond upon maturity at $100. What should I buy the bond for? I have to buy it at $95, isn't it? That is how, when I buy it at a slightly lower price, I will earn a profit. Okay? Now, let's start to see whether this relationship is true. So now, in this question, my bond price is 95. Let's take the exact same bond. A bond with a redemption value of 100 has a coupon of 5%. Investors require, look at it, 4% next. Right? So, investors require 4%. Let's fill it in. Same question, will this be above or below $100, right? What price will it be at? So here, investors require 4. Your coupon is 5%. Now, what would happen here? My coupon more than covers my return, right? So, interestingly, I can actually lose. Instead of a percentage gain, right, I could actually lose on redemption. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll just put a plus sign here. Okay, we will put a negative 1%. Now, this means I will redeem the bond again at 100, but I can lose 1%. Why? The coupon is so generous. It's 5, and all I need is 4, really. So I can fight for this bond. I can bid at a higher price for this bond. In fact, I would say I wish to buy for this bond. I wish to buy this bond maybe at $101. Now, someone who hears this may say, hey, but Irwin, you're going to lose $1 here, right? You buy it at 101, upon redemption, you're only going to get back 100. I'll be like, hey, chill, it's okay. I can lose the $1 because the coupon is abundant. I can make a 1% loss on the price. I can pay a higher price. I would lose some money, it's fine. I want 4%. I get it via my coupon 5. I can lose 1 on the redemption. But notice what happens. Your earlier price, when you had a yield of 7, your price was 95. Now, your yield went down to 4%. You see that? Investors' required return is the yield, right? From 7 to 4, your yield or investors' required return has gone down. What has happened to price? From 95, here, it has gone up to 101. Do you see the inverse relationship? The yield has gone down, your price has gone up. And this explains the mechanism of bonds. Why yield and bond price are inversely related to each other. So folks, thank you for joining me for this video. I hope it helped you to catch up on the concept of how to value a bond and the relationship between yield and price. My name again is Irwin. This is the end. If you are watching this video and you wish to connect with me, maybe you have some questions for me, sure, this is my LinkedIn. Link up with me there, or you could always drop me an email right below. My name is Irwin Luo, and my personal email irwinluo@learningluminarium.com. So thank you very much for joining me for this. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I will end the video here. Thank you once again.